back, everybody. You know our first guest from his award-winning run as Jack Bauer on the blockbuster show 24. He's currently making his Broadway debut as part of the all-star cast of that championship season. Please welcome back to the show, Kiefer Sutherland.
These are my confessions. It's my confessions.
Welcome back to the show, my man.
Thank you very much. Thanks so much for having me.
24 is now done.
Yes.
It's finished, but there's rumors circulating about a movie.
Yeah, right now it is slated for the summer of 2012, which would mean we'd have to start shooting in January, and we're moving everything towards accomplishing those dates.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's going to go down?
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
I'm excited about this.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Would that be like, is it weirdly easier to make a, because you're doing an hour show for 24 shows. This is just going to be an hour.
Well, what is really helpful for us, certainly from the writing point, is that it won't be in real time. It'll be a 2-hour representation of a 24-hour day. So if I have to get on a plane to go somewhere, all of those things are possible now, which were not possible in the show.
Fun. I love this. Awesome. Now, thanks for being here. I know you're living in New York right now.
Yeah.
You digging it? You enjoying it?
Absolutely. Well, yes. I've had fantastic. And you've got 3 New Yorkers in the audience?
Yeah. That's our maximum here. We only allow 3 New Yorkers together. They're not even sitting together. We have to space them out.
I've had a fantastic time here. I must say, doing the play makes it a lot better. I think New York is one of those cities, if you actually have something to do in the city, it helps a lot.
Because if you're just bored, then you just
get into trouble.
Yeah. There's a lot of places you can get in trouble. Yeah, because this is that championship season. You're on Broadway right now. Look at this. Look at all those dudes. Good people in there. Congratulations. It's the #1 play on Broadway.
Yes. Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, and it's a fantastic group of guys. You know Jim Gaffigan.
I love Jim Gaffigan.
Jason Patrick and I have known each other for 25 years. His father wrote the play.
I did not know his father is the guy who wrote the play. What's his name?
Won a Pulitzer and a Tony in 1972. Brian Cox is just a phenomenal actor. He's kind of the undisputed leader of our group.
Okay,
and Chris Noth has been fantastic. I met during the course of making the show.
You and Jason Patrick have been friends for a long time.
Yeah, forever.
I mean, back in Lost Boys days. Look at this.
Yes.
Come on. Look at their hair. It's the best. Dude, you have to dress like this for Halloween. You have to be old you.
I actually, a couple friends of mine, in looking back, I think that film came out in 1986, actually accused me of being responsible for the mullet. Which is not something that I want to take responsibility for.
You always want to be famous for bringing back the mullet. That was awesome. That was such a cool movie, man. That's wild.
Thank you very much.
And you guys I mean, it's a super fun play. The idea of it is so interesting.
Yeah.
It originally came out in
1972.
72.
And it's about 4 middle-aged men coming back for the reunion of their high school basketball championship. And they go to their coach's house, and they have this evening every year. And it's a point in their lives where they are looking back on their lives and realizing that a lot of aspects of their lives were not fully realized. And they start to deal with aspects of that amongst each other, and at some point in the evening they turn on each other, and then at some point in the evening they realize they can't survive without each other. So it's
that actually was the best time of their lives.
Yeah.
Was back in high school.
Yeah, which is
a bummer.
sad.
Yeah, it's a bummer thinking that was it. God, but I cannot wait to see this yet. All my friends who saw it said it's phenomenal.
Well, thank you very much.
I'm very excited about this. Now, when you're on Broadway, I know a lot of Broadway actors that come on our show, they have no time. Yeah. They're living in the theater basically, and just eating and going at breakfast, lunch, and dinner from the theater.
Well, you stay pretty focused on the task at hand, and it's a very delicate play. I mean, I think any piece of work that's going to win a Pulitzer is going to be a very layered piece of work, and so you have to kind of stay very focused on what you're doing.
But do you go out? Do you get to see
my gosh, yeah.
But not that far away, right?
Well, we go out. We generally go out after the show. So we have dinner at like 11 o'clock, and we'll hang out. And one of the nice things about this cast is we actually do spend a lot of time together. And so all of a sudden, Broadway, or New York City for me, which is a really big city, all of a sudden became 3 blocks long, you know, between the theater and a couple restaurants that we go to.
The Restaurant Row, if you guys don't know New York, is just, it's like 2 or 3 blocks around
2 blocks tops.
The theater district that has all the restaurants where people go before and after the show.
And it's amazing because there is a real sense of community. I mean, Chris Rock was opening a show 2 theaters down from us, and saw him the other night. And Fisher Stevens, who I hadn't seen in a long time, and Liev Schreiber, and they were in one restaurant, and then I run into Jeffrey Rush, and I got to meet Al Pacino for the first time. And so
that's fun.
There really is a community, or a sense
Al
of community
Pacino?
there. He was awesome. He was doing Merchant of Venice.
Merchant of Venice!
And yes.
He just picks one word and yells it. Yeah.
But,
the Merchant of Venice. Just picks one word per sentence and yells it. He's amazing. I wish I saw him in the theater.
I did not say that, Mr. Pacino.
I did not see him when he was here. That's a terrible Al Pacino, but either way, I am working on it. But you do that now, and you get to. I know there's like Joe Allen's. I go to that place now and then. Do you have like new haunts?
There's a lot of restaurants.
There's a zillion places you can go. I don't want to blow your cover and all that stuff. But here it is. You Broadway debut. You have a live audience. How long are you gonna do this for?
We're doing it to the end of May right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is it fun in front of a live audience? Do you like that vibe?
Me, it's fantastic. It's actually a funny story. It's Jim Gaffigan's first time on stage, and so all of us have had kind of helpful hints. And there hasn't been a single production that I've done that has run over 6 months that, you know, and a lot of the matinee performances are for a lot of older audiences go, and so over a 6-month period, you know, if the audience is between 80 and 90 years old, it is not uncommon that someone would actually pass away in the course of your play. And so
I'm sorry. So
no, it's and I've never gone through a play that hasn't happened. And so I was trying to warn Jim Gaffigan about that. You know, you got 1,500 people in the house, and eventually over 6 months, someone will pass away. So if you see
in the audience,
and so
what?
If you see a gurney coming down the aisle, don't panic.
Yeah.
And so the very first night we were doing the show, in a very quiet scene, we heard out in the audience. And Jim's eyes got as big as anything. And it was a woman had started choking on a candy and then went into a seizure. And we had to stop the play. And literally someone yelled, "Is there a doctor in the house?" And the curtain came down and we walked off. And Jim Gaffigan said, "You're not kidding. First one out of the gate, you killed someone already."
So you're literally killing on Broadway.
And the only reason why I'm telling you this story, is because the woman they got the candy out of her esophagus, and she was absolutely fine. She actually came in and watched the second act and watched the rest of the play, so she's absolutely fine.
She is fine.
And
All
no
right,
one
good.
died. Yeah.
Good to know. That championship season, you guys. We have a cool new web series people want to talk about when we come back. Come on back, everybody. We're back with the great Kiefer Sutherland right here. Now you have a really cool thing called The Confession. That's out. It's going to be only on the web exclusive.
Yes, it's actually one of the things I'm most proud of. It started. I was having, because I'm not a real. I'm sort of a technophobe, and I don't have a computer, and so the idea that I made something for the web is kind of funny to my friends. But I was hanging out with two guys that actually produce content for the internet, and they were wrestling with the question of how to create a series that would tell a story every 5 minutes. And I went to answer it, and I had a really difficult time. And over the course of a week, it was really frustrating to me. And I was just about to fall asleep, and I had this idea, and it was about a hitman going to a confessional to confess each murder that he'd committed. And so 2 minutes of the 5-minute episode would be this theological discussion of the rights and wrongs of what he has done, and then the 3 minutes would be reenacting the murder as it happens. And
That's
so.
a great idea.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
and a wonderful friend of mine, Brad Merman, felt the same way, and he wrote it. And it's one of the things I'm most proud of.
That's so cool. And when does it start? When does all
it starts at the very end of March, and it's on Hulu, and it's absolutely free. And the other act is myself and John Hurt, and we have other wonderful actors in it. But it's something that has been just creatively very satisfying for me.
And how's Twitter going for you? I know you're on Twitter. I can't believe you had no computer. Now you're on Twitter. This is insane.
I know. It's well, it's a lot easier for me with the phone.
Yeah. It's a tiny computer.
The Twitter thing, I mean, because you're really good at this, right?
I'm not really good at it, but I don't think you have to be.
Yeah, well, see.
I think it's just that it's kind of.
You said a really clever thing that, you know, just kind of text about what you're doing and da-da-da-da, and just, I keep waiting for something really interesting to happen so that I could tweet it, and it's been like 3 days now.
Up to this point, nothing interesting has happened. No, I take pictures of like what I had for breakfast or whatever.
So well, I'm gonna start doing more of it, because it's an amazing. I mean, when you take a look, it's absolutely ridiculous that I don't know more about this. Because when you take a look at what Twitter and Facebook managed to accomplish in the world in the last 3 months, from Tunisia, Egypt, the uprising in Libya. I mean, it is galvanizing people together in a way that they haven't been able to do for 50 years.
Yeah.
And that's quite extraordinary.
It's pretty cool. It's cool to be part of the world right now. I'm psyched. I want to show everyone a clip from the confession.
Oh, great.
Yep, here's the great Kiefer Sutherland.
Is someone there?
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned exceedingly in thought, word, and deed. I confess to Almighty God and to you, Father. It's been 35 years since my last confession.
That's a very long time. Would you like to tell me your sins?
I've seen things, done things, horrible things.
And you feel guilty for them?
No.
I see. What kind of things are you talking about?
Last night I killed a man.
Yeah, that's what I can't wait to see how many Our Fathers and Hail Marys he gives you. That championship season is at the Bernard B. Jacobs Theater right here in New York City. The Confession premieres on Hulu starting Monday, March 28th. Kiefer Sutherland, everybody. Emily Brown joins us next.